Hey gang, it's Dusty Thunder with another AITA story for you. This one is from Reddit, and it is, am I the astronaut for refusing to punish or allow my wife to punish our son? This all started back in March. My son's best friend turned 13. In his family, 13th birthday is a huge deal. In addition to a massive party, which all four of us were invited to, his parents also took him to Disney World. They invited my son to attend as well. My wife was hesitant to consent to this. She said it was unfair to allow our son to go when our 9-year-old daughter can't, especially since she loves Disney and princesses. I said that our kids won't always have the exact same opportunities, and if we set a precedent here, we'll have to stick to it if and when our daughter gets a similar opportunity. So we'd just be punishing both of our children needlessly. My wife reluctantly agreed and said that we should allow our son to go. I gave our son money to buy his sister souvenirs. He did, and his friend's parents even bought extra stuff for him to give her. Still, when she saw him come back wearing a Star Wars shirt with the Mickey hat and trading pin lanyard, she burst into tears. My wife later said we made a huge mistake and never should have let him go. I mistakenly thought that all of this was behind us. Now, we are not well off financially, but my brother-in-law is, and he invited all of us to visit a beach house he rented for a summer send-off. My wife told me she wants to have our son stay with my dad and just take our daughter to even the score. I told my wife that isn't happening. We're their parents. We can't favor one child over the other. Not being invited to the birthday trip of a kid you barely know is in no way comparable to being left out of a family vacation, and I'm shocked that she would even suggest such a thing. I refuse to allow it. Now my wife is angry, but I don't care. I'm not punishing my son for being lucky. Am I the astronaut? Oof. No, not the asshole here at all, OP, but this is, I think, a great example of how modern parents make a full-time job out of attempting to protect the egos of their children, and it does more harm than good. First of all, mom's logic doesn't hold up here because dad's right. Punishing him by making him stay behind for a family vacation, the fact that that's even an option, the fact that it's even on the table, the fact that she even thought of it and wants to do it is asinine. And speaks to her character a lot. Her outlook toward her son worries me that she'd be willing to do that. It's either extreme favoritism where she just likes her daughter a whole lot more and wants her to have this extra opportunity or the level playing field, which is not a level playing field at all. But the fact that she'd be willing to let him stay behind or force him to stay behind to try to mend her daughter's ego it's a whole lot of this. That's not okay. That's not okay at all. You have to allow your kids to experience these things. You have to let them feel the sting of disappointment because they're going to find it in life, and you cannot protect them from that. You cannot protect them from everything, especially this. She was about to say no and not let her son go to Disney with his friend in the first place because the daughter couldn't go. It's to that level. So she's trying to protect her daughter's ego to this extreme level to where it's affecting her decision-making for her son. Oh, what? Mom, you're not always going to be there to protect her ego. So as an adult, what is she going to do whenever she encounters an unfair situation? And it's going to happen. Not everybody gets equal opportunities. What is going to happen? She's not going to know how to deal with it because mommy's always been there to try to protect her ego. I don't know. I see a lot of problems with this, and that these words were ever uttered concerns me greatly. But I think we do see a lot of it now. We see a lot of parents so preoccupied with trying to protect the egos of their children that they're doing more harm than good. Almost all harm, because they aren't allowing their children to experience these things. They're quickly rushing to their aid to try to defend their egos for everything. Let them experience failure. Let them experience disappointment. Let them experience unfair situations. Let them experience desiring what someone else has. Let them experience being unlucky, because they'll understand how to deal with it as adults. And it's going to happen. And if you try to protect them from that, when it happens as adults, they're going to flip out. They aren't going to be able to function in this society, in this world. They are going to be completely dysfunctional. And I think, OP, I don't know how you explain that. I really don't. But I think if there's a way to explain that what she is actually doing is doing more harm to her daughter than good, because it's a band-aid. She's protecting her ego in the short term, but she's doing long-term damage by removing these learning opportunities that she needs to be a functional, happy adult. There's got to be a way to communicate that. I just don't know what it is. That's a complex situation, but I do really believe that it is doing more long-term harm than the short-term good. No, not the asshole for refusing to allow this to happen. I'm thankful that you put your foot down, but now you guys are butting heads. And of course, you know, parenting is a 50-50 thing. So this is something that you guys are going to have to get on an even playing field with. Even playing field is not the term to use with this scenario, because in her eyes, that means something completely different. You guys are going to have to get on the same page with this. And I'm hoping that you can help her see how what she's doing is causing more harm than good. But good luck with that.